Most English conversations are not built with rare or complicated vocabulary. They are built with ordinary words. But fluent speakers know how to place those ordinary words naturally. They know how to soften an answer. They know how to show interest. They know how to explain a reason. They know how to change a plan without sounding rude. And they know how to keep speaking, even when they need more time to think. That is what we are going to practice today. In this lesson, you will follow one ordinary day. We will begin in the morning. We will make plans. We will travel to work or school. We will speak with other people. We will solve small problems. We will order food. We will change our minds. And we will finish the day by talking about what happened. Along the way, you will learn the words and expressions that make everyday English sound natural. These are not words that you learn once and forget. These are words you can use today. You can use them at home. You can use them at work. You can use them while shopping. You can use them when meeting friends. You can even use them when you are speaking to yourself in English. Welcome to Fluent English in Minutes. Take a comfortable breath. Relax your shoulders. You do not need to understand every sentence immediately. First, listen. Then, repeat. After that, try to create your own sentence. By the end of this lesson, you will not simply know more vocabulary. You will know how to use familiar words. With better timing, better rhythm, and greater confidence, let us begin with the first few minutes of the day. Part 1, words for starting your day. Imagine that your alarm rings at 7 o'clock. You open your eyes. You look at the time and you think, is it morning already? The first useful word is already. We use already when something has happened earlier than expected or before the present moment. Listen to these examples. It is 7 o'clock already. I have already checked my messages. She has already left the house. We already know the answer. Notice the feeling. Already often gives us a sense that something is complete. Sometimes it also shows surprise. Is the meeting over already? Are you ready already? Has he arrived already? Now, say these sentences with me. I have already eaten breakfast. I already know that word. She has already called me. We are already making progress. Good. Now imagine that you do not want to get out of bed. You are awake, but you are still tired. Still is another word you will hear every day. We use still when a situation continues. I am still tired. He is still sleeping. They are still waiting. Do you still live near the station? The action or situation began earlier, and it continues now. Listen again. I started studying at 8. It is 9 now. I am still studying. She moved away 5 years ago. We still talk every week. The weather was cold this morning. It is still cold now. Repeat these sentences. I am still learning. I still remember that conversation. Are you still busy? We still have enough time. Now compare already and still. I have already finished my coffee. I am still drinking my coffee. The first sentence means the coffee is finished. The second means the action continues. Listen carefully. He has already arrived. He is still traveling. She has already made a decision. She is still thinking about it. Those pairs describe very different situations. Now repeat. I have already started. I am still working. I have already learned a lot. I am still improving. Excellent. The next word is yet. We often use yet in questions and negative sentences. Have you eaten yet? I have not eaten yet. Has the bus arrived yet? The bus has not arrived yet. Yet means until now. It usually suggests that we expect something to happen. Imagine your friend is getting ready. You ask, "Are you ready yet?" Your friend answers, "Not yet." That short answer is extremely useful. Not yet. It means something has not happened, but it may happen soon. Repeat, "I am not ready yet." "I have not decided yet." "We have not started yet." "Has she answered yet?" Now let us put already, still, and yet together. Have you finished your work yet? Yes. I have already finished it. Are you still at the office? No. I have already gone home. Have you had dinner yet? No. Not yet. Are you still hungry? Yes, I am. Listen to that conversation one more time. Have you finished your work yet? Yes. I have already finished it. Are you still at the office? No. I have already gone home. Have you had dinner yet? No, not yet. Are you still hungry? Yes, I am. These 3 words help you talk clearly about progress. Now let us add another small word. The word is just. Just has several everyday meanings. We often use it for something that happened a very short time ago. I just woke up. She just called me. We just arrived. He has just finished his breakfast. We also use just to make a request sound smaller or simpler. I just need a minute. Could you just check this for me? I just want to ask a quick question. And sometimes just means only. It is just a small mistake. I was just joking. We are just friends. Listen to the difference. I just finished. That means I finished very recently. I just need some water. That means water is the only thing I need. It is just a suggestion. That means it is only a suggestion, not an order. Now repeat. I just woke up. I just need a little time. She just sent me a message. It is just an idea. Very good. Our next word is almost. Almost means very close, but not completely. It is almost 8 o'clock. I am almost ready. The bottle is almost empty. We have almost finished. This word is useful because daily life is often not completely one thing or another. You may not be ready, but you are almost ready. You may not be at the station, but you are almost there. You may not understand everything, but you understand almost everything. Repeat, I am almost ready to leave. We are almost at the end. I almost forgot my keys. She almost missed the bus. Be careful with the sentence, I almost forgot. It means you remembered at the last moment. I almost forgot my phone, but I saw it on the table. I almost missed the train, but I arrived just in time. Now listen to this short morning scene. Maya is getting ready for work. Her brother is waiting near the door. Are you ready yet? He asks. Almost, Maya says. I just need to find my keys. Are they still in your bag? I already checked my bag. What about the kitchen table? Maya looks at the table. There they are. I almost left without them. Her brother smiles. Good. Now can we go? Yes. I am ready now. Let us practice that dialogue in smaller pieces. Are you ready yet? Almost. I just need to find my keys. Are they still in your bag? I already checked my bag. I almost left without them. Now shadow the complete thought. I am almost ready. I just need to find my keys. I already checked my bag, but I will check again. There they are. I almost left without them. Good. You have completed the first stage of the lesson. You can now describe whether something has happened, whether it continues, and whether it is close to completion. Let us add words that help you talk about habits and expectations. The first one is usually. Usually describes what happens most of the time. I usually wake up at 7. We usually eat breakfast together. She usually walks to work. They usually arrive early. Usually does not mean always. It means this is normal, but there may be exceptions. I usually drink tea, but today I am having coffee. He usually drives, but this morning he is taking the train. Repeat. I usually check my schedule in the morning. I usually leave home before 8. I usually study English after breakfast. I usually feel more active in the morning. Now let us use rarely. Rarely means not often. I rarely sleep late. She rarely drinks coffee. We rarely go out on weekdays. He rarely forgets an appointment. Rarely is more precise than sometimes. If something happens sometimes, it happens on some occasions. If it happens rarely, it does not happen very often. Compare these sentences. I sometimes work from home. I rarely work from home. The first situation happens from time to time. The second is unusual. Repeat. I rarely miss the bus. I rarely eat a heavy breakfast. She rarely complains. We rarely change our morning routine. Now let us practice with normally. Normally is similar to usually. However, normally can also describe what happens under regular conditions. I normally leave at 8. The store normally opens at 9. This road is normally quiet. He is normally very calm. Listen to this sentence. The journey normally takes 20 minutes, but today the traffic is heavy. That means 20 minutes is the regular travel time. Today is different. Repeat. I normally arrive early. The office is normally quiet in the morning. I normally bring lunch from home. She normally answers quickly. Now we need a word for what we expect to happen. That word is probably. Probably means something is likely. It is not completely certain, but you believe it will happen. I will probably take the bus. It will probably rain later. She is probably at home. They will probably agree. Notice the position of probably. I will probably call you. She is probably tired. They probably know already. He probably forgot. Repeat. I will probably leave soon. The train will probably be crowded. She is probably still sleeping. We will probably arrive on time. For stronger confidence, use definitely. Definitely means you feel certain. I will definitely come. That is definitely the right address. She definitely remembers you. We should definitely try that restaurant. Compare the two. I will probably go. I will definitely go. The first sentence leaves some uncertainty. The second sounds certain. Repeat. I will definitely practice today. This word is definitely useful. We should definitely leave early. I am definitely ready. Now let us use these words in a natural conversation. Do you normally drive to work? Usually, yes. But my car is at the garage today. So how are you getting there? I will probably take the bus. The buses are normally crowded at this time. I know. I should definitely leave early. Do you ever walk? Rarely. It takes almost an hour. Listen again. Do you normally drive to work? Usually, yes. I will probably take the bus. I should definitely leave early. I rarely walk because it takes almost an hour. Now repeat the complete answer. I normally drive to work, but today I will probably take the bus. The buses are usually crowded, so I should definitely leave early. I rarely walk because the journey takes almost an hour. That is a strong B1 to B2 answer. It includes habit, possibility, certainty, frequency, and reason. Part 2, words that make answers sound natural. Now you are outside. You meet a neighbor. Your neighbor says, "You are leaving early today." You could answer, "Yes," but natural conversations often include small words that show attitude. Let us begin with actually. Actually is useful when you correct an idea, add surprising information, or explain the real situation. Are you going to work? Actually, I am going to the dentist. Do you live in this building? Actually, I live across the street. Was the test difficult? Actually, it was easier than I expected. Actually often signals that the truth is slightly different from what another person thinks. Repeat. Actually, I have the day off. Actually, I changed my mind. It was actually quite easy. I actually enjoyed the meeting. Be careful. Do not place actually everywhere. Use it when there is a contrast, correction, or unexpected detail. Now let us practice. Honestly introduces your real opinion or feeling. Honestly, I am a little nervous. Honestly, I did not enjoy the movie. I honestly do not remember. She honestly tried her best. When you begin with honestly, your voice should sound calm. It can make a negative opinion feel more personal and less aggressive. Honestly, I think we need more time. Honestly, that plan seems too expensive. Honestly, I would rather stay home. Repeat, honestly, I am still tired. Honestly, I need a short break. I honestly expected a different result. Honestly, I am glad you asked. The next word is basically. Basically means you are giving the main idea without every detail. Imagine someone asks what your job is. You could give a long explanation, or you could say, basically, I help customers solve technical problems. Someone asks what happened during the meeting. You say, basically, we discuss the new schedule. Someone asks how an app works. You say, basically, you create an account and follow the instructions. Basically is useful when a full explanation would be too long. Repeat. Basically, we need to start again. Basically, the plan has 3 steps. Basically, I work from home. Basically, nothing has changed. Now let us use especially. Especially draws attention to one important person, thing, or situation. I enjoy fruit, especially mangoes. The road is busy, especially in the morning. English is easier when you practice, especially speaking. Everyone was helpful, especially Anna. Repeat. I like quiet places, especially in the evening. This lesson is useful, especially for intermediate learners. I enjoy traveling, especially by train. The city is beautiful, especially at night. Our next word is mainly. Mainly means mostly or for the most important part. I use my phone mainly for work. The event is mainly for students. We talked mainly about money. The neighborhood is mainly residential. Compare mainly and especially, I eat mainly healthy food. I enjoy healthy food, especially fresh vegetables. Mainly describes the largest part, especially points to one example that stands out. Repeat. I study mainly in the evening. I use English mainly at work. The problem is mainly about timing. The class is mainly focused on speaking. Now let us try perhaps. Perhaps means maybe. It can sound slightly more thoughtful or careful. Perhaps we should leave earlier. Perhaps she did not see the message. We could meet on Friday. Perhaps. Perhaps there is another solution. In casual conversation, maybe is more common, but perhaps is useful. When you want a calm and thoughtful tone, repeat. Perhaps I misunderstood. Perhaps we can try again. Perhaps he is still at work. We should perhaps check the address. The next word is apparently. Apparently means that something seems to be true based on what you heard or observed. Apparently, the train is delayed. Apparently, the restaurant has closed. She is apparently moving to another city. Apparently, we need to book in advance. You are not saying that you personally confirmed every detail. You are reporting information that seems true. Repeat. Apparently, the meeting starts at 10. Apparently, this road is closed. He is apparently very good at his job. Apparently, they changed the rules. Now let us learn a word. For agreement and precision, the word is exactly. Exactly can mean completely correct. That is the problem. Exactly. You mean we need more time? Exactly. It can also mean a precise amount, time, or place. The appointment starts at exactly 9. The bag costs exactly $50. Tell me exactly what happened. I do not know exactly where he lives. Repeat. That is exactly what I mean. The train arrived at exactly 8. I know exactly how you feel. What exactly do you need? Another helpful word is generally. Generally means in most situations, people generally arrive before 9. The weather is generally warm here. I generally agree with that idea. This method generally works well. Generally allows you to make a broad statement without saying that it is true every single time. Repeat. I generally prefer simple explanations. The buses are generally reliable. People are generally friendly in this area. I generally study for 30 minutes. Finally, let us use personally. Personally introduces your own preference or opinion. Personally, I prefer walking. Personally, I would choose the blue one. I personally find this method helpful. Personally, I need a little more time. It reminds the listener that this is your view. Other people may think differently. Repeat. Personally, I enjoy morning practice. Personally, I think the second option is better. I personally prefer quieter places. Personally, I would wait until tomorrow. Now listen to this conversation at a bus stop. Is the bus normally this late? Actually, it is usually on time. Do you know what happened? Apparently, there is heavy traffic near the bridge. That is especially bad in the morning. Exactly. The road is generally busy before 9. Perhaps we should walk. Honestly, I would rather wait. It is almost 3 kilometers. What do you use the bus for? Work? Mainly, yes. I personally prefer driving, but my car is being repaired. Let us review the natural words from that conversation. Actually, it is usually on time. Apparently, there is heavy traffic. That is especially bad in the morning. Exactly. Perhaps we should walk. Honestly, I would rather wait. I mainly use the bus for work. I personally prefer driving. Now repeat the whole response. Actually, the bus is generally on time. Apparently, there is heavy traffic near the bridge. Honestly, I would rather wait. then walk 3 kilometers. I mainly use the bus for work, although I personally prefer driving. Very good. Your answers are becoming richer. You are not only giving information, you are showing how you feel about that information. Part 3, everyday verbs that move a conversation forward. You arrive at work or school, someone asks, "Did you see the new message?" This is where practical action verbs become important. Let us begin with check. Check means to look at something carefully to make sure it is correct, safe, or complete. I need to check my email. Please check the address. Let me check the time. Did you check your answers? Check is one of the most useful verbs in modern daily life. We check phones. We check schedules. We check prices. We check information. Repeat. I will check it now. Could you check this for me? I check the schedule twice. Let me check whether she is available. Our next verb is notice. Notice means to see, hear, or become aware of something. I noticed a mistake. Did you notice the new sign? She noticed that I was tired. Nobody noticed the small change. Notice is not the same as look. Look is an action you choose. Notice often happens when something gets your attention. I looked at the document. Then I noticed a spelling mistake. Repeat. I noticed something unusual. Did you notice the difference? She noticed that the room was quiet. I did not notice the time. Now let us learn realize. Realize means to suddenly understand or become aware of a fact. I realized that I had the wrong key. She realized she was late. We did not realize the store was closed. He suddenly realized what the problem was. Notice often relates to seeing or observing. Realize relates to understanding. I noticed that the lights were off. Then I realized nobody was home. Repeat. I realized I had forgotten my wallet. She realized that she needed help. We realized the plan would not work. I did not realize how late it was. The next verb is decide. Decide means to make a choice. After thinking, I decided to take the bus. We need to decide where to eat. She has not decided yet. They decided against the idea. Repeat. I decided to try again. Have you decided what to order? We decided to leave early. He could not decide between the two options. Now let us use expect. Expect means to believe something will happen. I expect the meeting to finish at noon. She expected him to call. We did not expect so many people. What do you expect will happen? Expect can also describe a standard. The teacher expects us to arrive on time. Customers expect good service. I expect you to be honest. Repeat. I expect the journey to take an hour. I did not expect that answer. They expect the work to be finished today. What should we expect? The next verb is manage. Manage can mean to succeed in doing something difficult. I managed to catch the bus. She managed to finish on time. Did you manage to contact him? We managed to solve the problem. This is a powerful be1 to be2 verb. It tells the listener that the action required effort. Compare these sentences. I finished the report. I managed to finish the report. The second sentence suggests it was not easy. Repeat. I managed to find my keys. She managed to stay calm. We managed to arrive before the meeting. Did you manage to book a table? Now let us use handle. Handle means to deal with a task, situation, or problem. I can handle this. She handles customer questions. How did you handle the situation? This job is difficult to handle alone. In everyday conversation, handle often shows ability and responsibility. Do not worry, I will handle it. Can you handle the phone calls while I am away? He handled the problem very well. Repeat, I can handle the first part. She knows how to handle pressure. We need to handle this carefully. He handled the complaint calmly. Our next verb is figure out. Figure out means to understand something or find a solution. I am trying to figure out the schedule. We need to figure out what went wrong. She finally figured out how the machine works. I cannot figure out this question. Figure out is very common in spoken English. It sounds more conversational than solve or understand in many situations. Repeat, I will figure it out. Can you help me figure out this problem? We need to figure out where to meet. She figured out a faster way. Now let us practice. Depend. Depend means that one thing is affected by another. The time depends on the traffic. It depends on the weather. The price depends on the size. Whether I go depends on my schedule. The phrase, it depends, is an extremely useful answer. Is learning English difficult? It depends. Will you come tomorrow? It depends on what time the meeting ends. Which option is better? It depends on what you need. Repeat. It depends on the situation. The result depends on how much we practice. It depends on the cost. My answer depends on the details. The next verb is suggest. Suggest means to offer an idea for someone to consider. I suggest leaving early. She suggested a different restaurant. What do you suggest? He suggested that we wait. Be careful with the grammar. We say, I suggest going now, not I suggest to go now. We can also say, I suggest that we go now. Repeat. I suggest taking a short break. She suggested meeting on Friday. What would you suggest? I suggest that we check again. Now let us learn. Avoid. Avoid means to stay away from something or prevent it from happening. I avoid driving during rush hour. Try to avoid unnecessary mistakes. She avoided answering the question. We left early to avoid traffic. Repeat. I try to avoid checking my phone while studying. We should avoid making the same mistake. He avoids crowded places. Leave early to avoid being late. Our next verb is remind. Remind means to help someone remember. Please remind me to call Sarah. This song reminds me of home. Can you remind him about the meeting? I need a reminder because I often forget. Notice the two patterns. Remind someone to do something. Please remind me to send the email. Remind someone of something. That picture reminds me of my childhood. Repeat. Remind me to bring my notebook. Could you remind her about the appointment? This place reminds me of my hometown. I will remind you later. The final verb in this section is matter. Matter means to be important. The details matter. Your effort matters. It does not matter where we sit. What matters most is that you keep practicing. The phrase, it does not matter, is very common. Sorry, I chose the wrong table. It does not matter. I am 5 minutes late. That is okay. It does not matter. Repeat. Every small step matters. The result matters, but the process matters too. It does not matter which color you choose. What matters is that you understand. Now listen to a workplace conversation. Did you check the updated schedule? Not yet. I just arrived. I noticed that the morning meeting was moved. Really? I did not realize it had changed. It starts at 10 now. That is better. I might manage to finish the report first. Do you want me to handle the final page? Yes. Please, I am still trying to figure out the numbers. Do they depend on last month's sales? Exactly. And I want to avoid using the wrong data. I suggest checking the shared folder. Good idea. Please remind me to email the report before lunch. I will. The deadline matters, but we still have enough time. Now repeat these important sentences. I noticed that the schedule had changed. I did not realize the meeting was later. I managed to finish the first part. Could you handle the final page? I am trying to figure out the numbers. The answer depends on the latest information. I suggest checking the shared folder. We should avoid using old data. Please remind me to send the report. The deadline matters. Now shadow this longer answer. I checked the schedule and noticed that the meeting had moved. At first, I did not realize why. Then, I figured out that the manager needed more time. That change helped me because I managed to finish my report. My colleague handled the final page, and together, we avoided missing the deadline. Excellent. You are now using verbs that describe real thinking, planning, and problem solving. Part 4, Natural Responses in Social Conversations. Knowing vocabulary is important, but conversations also depend on reactions. When another person speaks, you need short responses that show you are listening. Let us begin with, I see. I see means you understand what the other person has explained. I cannot come because I have a meeting. I see. The store closes early on Sundays. I see. Then we should go tomorrow. I see is calm and neutral. It does not always mean you agree. It means you understand the information. Repeat. I see what you mean. I see. That explains it. I see. So the plan has changed. I see why you are worried. Our next response is, that makes sense. Use this when an explanation seems logical. I left early because the traffic is terrible after 5. That makes sense. We chose this cafe because it is near the station. That makes sense. She practices every day, so she is improving quickly. That makes sense. Repeat. That makes sense to me. Yes. That makes sense. Now it makes sense. That makes sense because the road is usually crowded. The next expression is good point. Good point means another person has said something worth considering. We should book a table because Friday nights are busy. Good point. Maybe we should save a copy before closing the file. Good point. This phrase shows respect for another person's idea. Repeat. That is a good point. Good point. I had not thought about that. You make a good point. That is a really good point. Now let us use fair enough. Fair enough means you accept someone's reason, opinion, or decision. I do not want to go out tonight. I am exhausted. Fair enough. I prefer the first option because it is cheaper. Fair enough. It does not mean you strongly agree. It means the other person's view is reasonable. Repeat. Fair enough. Let us stay home. Fair enough. We can try another day. That is fair enough. Fair enough. I understand your decision. Our next phrase is sounds good. Sounds good is an easy way to accept a suggestion. Let us meet at 6. Sounds good. I will send you the details later. Sounds good. We could order lunch from the cafe downstairs. Sounds good to me. Repeat. That sounds good. Sounds good to me. 6 o'clock sounds good. Your idea sounds good. Now use that works. That works means an arrangement or solution is suitable. Can we meet on Thursday? That works. I can call you after lunch. That works for me. We could use the smaller room. That should work. Repeat. Tomorrow works for me. That time works well. Yes, that works. The second option should work. Now let us learn. No worries. No worries can mean it is okay. Do not worry, or you are welcome. Sorry I am late. No worries. Thank you for helping. No worries. I cannot finish this today. No worries. Tomorrow is fine. It is friendly and casual. Repeat. No worries. Take your time. No worries. It happens. No worries at all. No worries. I can handle it. The next phrase is not exactly. Not exactly is a soft way to correct information. Are you angry? Not exactly. I am just disappointed. Do you work here? Not exactly. I am visiting a client. Was the movie boring? Not exactly. It was just too long. Repeat. Not exactly. Let me explain. That is not exactly what I meant. Not exactly, but you are close. It is not exactly the same. Now let us practice. Not necessarily. Not necessarily means something is not always true. More expensive means better. Not necessarily. If someone speaks quickly, they must be fluent. Not necessarily. If I make a mistake, the conversation will fail. Not necessarily. This phrase is extremely useful for B1 to B2 discussions. Repeat. That is not necessarily true. Not necessarily. It depends on the situation. More practice does not necessarily mean longer practice. A difficult word is not necessarily a useful word. Our next phrase is, it depends. We practiced depend earlier. Now let us use the full response naturally. Is working from home better? It depends. Should I study in the morning or evening? It depends on when you can focus. Is this restaurant expensive? It depends on what you order. Repeat. It depends on the day. It depends on what you need. It really depends. That depends on the situation. Now use I mean helps you clarify, correct, or add detail to what you just said. The room is small. It is comfortable, but there is not much space. We should leave soon. We do not need to leave immediately, but we should not wait too long. He is quiet. He talks when he feels comfortable. Is common in natural speech, but do not use it after every sentence. Use it when you want to explain your meaning more clearly. Repeat. We still have time. It was not a serious problem. We could try another way. That is not what I mean. Another useful response is, I get it. I get it means, I understand. I need the report before noon because the client is waiting. I get it. You press this button first and then you choose the file. I get it now. Be careful with tone. A warm tone sounds friendly. A sharp tone can sound impatient. Repeat calmly, I get it now. Yes, I get it. I understand what you mean. I did not get it at first, but I do now. Now listen to two friends planning dinner. Would you like to try the new restaurant near the park? Maybe. Is it expensive? It depends on what you order. I see. I am trying not to spend too much this week. Fair enough. We could go to the smaller cafe instead. That works for me. They close at 8, so we should meet around 6:30. Good point. I can book a table this afternoon. Sounds good. By the way, Lisa might join us. No worries. I will book a table for 3. She is not definitely coming. I get it. I will ask whether we can change the number later. That makes sense. Now repeat the natural responses. I see. Fair enough. That works for me. Good point. Sounds good. No worries. I get it. That makes sense. Now use them in complete answers. I see what you mean, and that makes sense. Fair enough. We can choose another place. 6:30 works for me. Good point. We should probably book a table. Sounds good. I will see you there. No worries. We can change the plan later. This kind of response makes the other person feel heard. That is one of the most important parts of fluent conversation. Part 5, words for describing everyday situations. Now let us improve the way you describe places, objects, plans, and experiences. Basic words are useful, but at B1 to B2 level, you also need more precise everyday adjectives. The first word is convenient. Convenient means easy and suitable for your needs. The station is close, so the location is convenient. Online banking is convenient. Is Friday convenient for you? This bag is small and convenient to carry. Repeat. The meeting time is convenient for me. Living near work is very convenient. Is this location convenient? It is convenient because everything is nearby. The next word is available. Available means ready to be used, obtained, or contacted. Is this seat available? The doctor is not available today. Tickets are available online. Are you available tomorrow afternoon? Repeat. I am available after 3. Is this product still available? No tables are available right now. The information is available on the website. Now let us use comfortable. Comfortable can describe physical comfort or a relaxed feeling. This chair is comfortable. I feel comfortable speaking with her. Wear something comfortable. Are you comfortable with the plan? That last sentence means, do you feel okay about the plan? Repeat. I feel comfortable here. These shoes are very comfortable. Are you comfortable asking questions? I am becoming more comfortable with English. Our next word is familiar. Familiar means known or recognized because you have seen, heard, or experienced it before. That name sounds familiar. I am familiar with this neighborhood. The song is familiar. Are you familiar with this software? Notice the structure. Familiar with something. I am familiar with the process. She is familiar with the area. Repeat. This word looks familiar. I am not familiar with that expression. The place feels familiar. Are you familiar with the rules? Now let us compare. Similar and different. Similar means almost the same, but not exactly. The two designs are similar. My job is similar to yours. These words have similar meanings. Our schedules are quite similar. Remember, similar to, not similar with. My phone is similar to yours. Different means not the same. The new plan is different from the old one. People learn in different ways. This color looks different in daylight. My experience was completely different. Repeat. The two ideas are similar. This example is similar to the last one. My answer is different from yours. The situation is different now. Our next adjective is useful. Useful means helping you achieve something. This app is useful. That is a useful expression. The advice was extremely useful. I found the meeting useful. Repeat. This word is useful in daily conversations. The information was useful. I hope you find this practice useful. It is useful to review your mistakes. Now use practical. Practical often describes something suitable for real situations. These are practical shoes. That is a practical solution. The course gives practical speaking experience. We need a practical plan. Useful and practical are close. Useful means helpful. Practical often emphasizes real use and realistic needs. Repeat. That is a practical idea. I need practical vocabulary. This bag is simple, but practical. Let us find a practical solution. The next word is reasonable. Reasonable means fair, sensible, or not too much. The price is reasonable. That sounds like a reasonable plan. Her request was reasonable. We need to set a reasonable goal. Repeat. The cost seems reasonable. That is a reasonable explanation. 1 hour is a reasonable amount of time. Your suggestion is completely reasonable. Now let us learn clear. Clear means easy to understand. See or hear. Your explanation was clear. The instructions are not clear. Please speak in a clear voice. The sky is clear today. Repeat. Is everything clear? Let me make the question clearer. The directions were clear and simple. Please be clear about what you need. The next word is quiet. Quiet means making little noise or having little activity. The room is quiet. I need a quiet place to work. The neighborhood becomes quiet at night. She is quiet around new people. Repeat. It is unusually quiet today. Could we find somewhere quieter? I prefer a quiet cafe. He was quiet during the meeting. Now compare quiet with crowded. Crowded means full of people. The bus is crowded. The restaurant was too crowded. The streets become crowded after work. I avoid crowded places when possible. Repeat. The train was extremely crowded. This cafe is usually crowded at lunchtime. The room feels crowded. Let us go before it gets crowded. Our next word is likely. Likely means probable. Rain is likely this afternoon. She is likely to arrive late. That solution is more likely to work. It is likely that prices will increase. Repeat. The bus is likely to be crowded. He is likely to agree. That is the most likely result. It is unlikely to happen today. Unlikely means probably not. It is unlikely that the store is still open. She is unlikely to forget. Repeat. That seems unlikely. It is unlikely to rain. We are unlikely to finish before noon. A mistake is possible, but it is unlikely. Now let us use possible. Possible means something can happen or be done. Is it possible to change the date? That is one possible solution. I will come as early as possible. Anything is possible with enough time. Repeat. Is a later appointment possible? Please reply as soon as possible. We need to consider every possible option. It may be possible to fix it. Now listen to a conversation in a cafe. This place is quieter than I expected. Yes, it normally gets crowded after 12. The location is very convenient. I agree. It is near the station, and there are several buses nearby. Are the seats comfortable? They are comfortable enough for a short meeting. Is the menu expensive? No, the prices are reasonable. Good. I need somewhere practical for meeting clients. This place might be useful. The staff are friendly and Wi-Fi is available. Are you familiar with the area? A little. My office is in a similar neighborhood. Is it possible to book a table? Yes, but it is likely to be busy on Friday. Then we should probably book today. Now repeat these descriptive sentences. The location is convenient. The seats are comfortable. The prices are reasonable. Wi-Fi is available. I am familiar with the area. The neighborhood is similar to mine. The cafe is quiet now, but it gets crowded later. It is possible to book a table. Friday is likely to be busy. Now give a longer description. The cafe is in a convenient location, near the station. It is normally quiet in the morning, although it becomes crowded at lunchtime. The seats are comfortable. The prices are reasonable, and Wi-Fi is available. It seems like a practical place to work or meet a friend. That is the kind of description you can use in real life. Part 6, connectors that help you speak longer. A fluent answer is not only a collection of sentences. The ideas need to connect. Let us practice words that help one thought lead naturally to another. The first connector is since. Since can give a reason. Since the weather is good, we can sit outside. Since you are already here, we can begin. I took the train since my car was unavailable. Since we have enough time, let us check everything again. In spoken English, because is often clearer, but since is useful when the reason is already known or not surprising. Repeat. Since we are early, we can get some coffee. Since she is busy, I will call later. I stayed home. Since I was not feeling well. Since you asked, I will explain. Our next connector is although. Although introduces a contrast. Although I was tired, I continued working. The cafe was crowded, although we found a table. Although the task looked difficult, it was manageable. She came to the meeting. Although she was busy. Repeat. Although I was nervous, I spoke clearly. Although it was expensive, I bought it. The journey was comfortable, although it was long. Although I made mistakes, people understood me. Now let us use even though is similar to although, but it often makes the contrast feel stronger. Even though it was raining heavily, they continued walking. I enjoyed the event. Even though I did not know anyone, even though she was exhausted, she finished the work. He smiled, even though he was disappointed. Repeat. Even though I was unsure, I answered. I kept practicing, even though I felt tired. Even though the room was crowded, it was quiet. She helped me, even though she was busy. The next connector is while. While can show two actions happening at the same time. I listened to a podcast. While I was cooking, she took notes. While the teacher was speaking. Do not check your phone. While driving, we talked. While we waited. While can also compare two different situations. I prefer working early, while my brother prefers working at night. The first option is cheaper, while the second is more convenient. Repeat. I practice listening. While I walk, she smiled while she was speaking. I enjoy cities, while my friend prefers the countryside. This room is quiet, while the other room is crowded. Now let us practice unless. Unless means if not. I will walk unless it rains. We cannot begin unless everyone is ready. Do not call me unless it is urgent. You will not improve unless you practice. Compare, I will go if it does not rain. I will go unless it rains. The meaning is the same. Repeat, I will take the bus unless the weather improves. We will be late unless we leave now. You cannot know unless you ask. I do not buy it unless I really need it. Our next phrase is as long as. As long as means only if a condition is met. You can borrow my book as long as you return it tomorrow. I am happy to go as long as the restaurant is not too expensive. We can finish today as long as everyone helps. You can improve as long as you keep practicing. Repeat. I can meet anytime as long as you tell me in advance. We can sit outside as long as it does not rain. The plan will work as long as we stay organized. You can make mistakes as long as you learn from them. The next phrase is in case. In case describes preparation for a possible situation. Take an umbrella in case it rains. Save the address in case your phone loses its signal. Bring some water in case you get thirsty. I wrote the time down in case I forgot. Notice the difference between if and in case. I will use the umbrella if it rains. I will take the umbrella in case it rains. In the second sentence, you prepare before the rain begins. Repeat. Bring a jacket in case it gets cold. I will send you the address in case you need it. Take a photo in case you forget the details. Let us leave early in case the traffic is heavy. Now use at least. At least introduces a minimum or a positive part of a difficult situation. I need at least 20 minutes. There were at least 50 people. The train was late, but at least we found seats. I made mistakes, but at least I tried. Repeat. Practice for at least 10 minutes. We need at least 2 people. The result was not perfect, but at least we finished. I may not know every word, but at least I understand the main idea. Our next phrase is, on the other hand. Use it to introduce another side of an idea. Working from home is convenient. On the other hand, it can feel lonely. The first apartment is cheaper. On the other hand, the second one is closer to work. The job is challenging. On the other hand, it offers good experience. Repeat. The cafe is crowded. On the other hand, the food is excellent. Driving is faster. On the other hand, taking the train is less stressful. The course is difficult. On the other hand, it is extremely useful. I like living in the city. On the other hand, I sometimes miss the quiet countryside. Now let us use for now. For now means for the present time, although the situation may change later. This plan is fine for now. Let us wait here for now. I am working from home for now. We do not need to decide for now. Repeat. That is enough for now. For now, let us use the first option. I will keep this phone for now. We can leave the details for now. Our next phrase is, in fact. In fact introduces information that strengthens, corrects, or adds to a previous statement. The test was not difficult. In fact, it was quite easy. I do not dislike the city. In fact, I enjoy living here. She has improved a lot. In fact, she gave the best presentation. We thought we were late. In fact, we arrived first. Repeat. It was not expensive. In fact, it was cheaper than I expected. I am not tired. In fact, I feel full of energy. He does not just understand English. In fact, he speaks it very well. The meeting was useful. In fact, we solved several problems. Now listen to this connected answer. I normally take the bus because it is convenient. Although driving is faster, parking near my office is difficult. I listen to English while I travel, so the journey feels useful. I always leave early in case the traffic is heavy. Unless the weather is terrible, the bus is generally reliable. It can be crowded. On the other hand, I do not need to worry about driving. For now, the bus is the most practical option. In fact, I have started to enjoy the journey. Repeat the answer in smaller parts. I normally take the bus because it is convenient. Although driving is faster, parking is difficult. I listen to English. While I travel, I leave early in case the traffic is heavy. Unless the weather is terrible, the bus is reliable. It can be crowded. On the other hand, I do not need to drive. For now, it is the most practical option. In fact, I have started to enjoy it. Now shadow the full paragraph. I normally take the bus because it is convenient. Although driving is faster, parking near my office is difficult. I listen to English while I travel, so the journey feels useful. I always leave early in case the traffic is heavy. The bus can be crowded. On the other hand, I do not need to worry about driving. For now, it is the most practical option. Excellent. Your sentences now have movement. They show reasons, contrasts, conditions, and results. Part 7, words for amounts, choices, and preferences. At lunchtime, you need to choose what to eat. This gives us a natural situation for practicing amounts and choices. Let us begin with enough. Enough means as much as you need. I have enough time. There is enough food for everyone. Did you get enough sleep? This room is not large enough. Notice the position. Enough comes before a noun. Enough time, enough water, enough information. But enough comes after an adjective. Warm enough, clear enough, fast enough. Repeat. We have enough chairs. I do not have enough information. The coffee is not hot enough. Are you comfortable enough? Now let us use too much and too many. Too much is for uncountable nouns. Too much noise, too much sugar, too much work, too much traffic. Too many is for countable plural nouns. Too many people, too many messages, too many meetings, too many choices. Repeat. There is too much noise here. I spend too much time on my phone. There are too many people in the queue. I made too many changes. Now let us soften an amount with a bit. A bit means a small amount. I am a bit tired. The room is a bit cold. Could you speak a bit more slowly? This is a bit more expensive. A bit is very common in spoken English. It often makes criticism or negative information sound softer. The food is a bit salty. The meeting was a bit long. I am a bit worried. Repeat. I need a bit more time. Could you move a bit closer? It is a bit crowded today. I feel a bit nervous. Now use a little. A little can also mean a small amount. I need a little help. There is a little milk left. I feel a little tired. Could you wait a little longer? A bit and a little are often similar. A bit is especially common before adjectives in casual speech. A bit tired, a bit difficult. A little can be used before nouns. A little time, a little water. Repeat. I have a little time before lunch. Please add a little sugar. I am a little unsure. Let us practice a little longer. The next expression is a few. A few means a small number of countable things. I have a few questions. We need a few more chairs. She arrived a few minutes ago. I made a few mistakes. A few has a positive feeling. It means there are some. Few without a can sound negative. I have few opportunities. That means not many. For everyday conversation, a few is usually safer and more common. Repeat. I know a few people here. Give me a few minutes. I bought a few things. We have a few options. Now let us use several. Several means more than a few, but not a very large number. Several people called this morning. I have visited the city several times. We discussed several ideas. There are several ways to solve the problem. Repeat. I learned several new expressions. We waited for several minutes. She asked several useful questions. The plan has several advantages. Our next word is most. Most means the majority. Most people need time to become fluent. I work from home most days. Most of the food was excellent. She answered most of the questions. Repeat. Most learners understand more than they can say. I practice most mornings. Most of my friends live nearby. I remember most of the conversation. Now let us talk about choices. With either means one of two choices. You can sit on either side. Either day is fine. We can take either the bus or the train. I do not like either option. Listen carefully. Either option is possible. You can choose either tea or coffee. I can meet on either Monday or Tuesday. Repeat. Either time works for me. We can use either entrance. You can choose either one. I do not mind either way. Now use neither. Neither means not the first and not the second. Neither option is convenient. Neither answer is correct. I like neither tea nor coffee. Neither of us was ready. In everyday conversation, people also say, I do not like either option. That is often easier than, I like neither option. Both are correct. Repeat. Neither day works for me. Neither restaurant is open. Neither of them called. I chose neither option. The next word is both. Both means the two together. Both options are good. We both agree. I have visited both cities. Both of the answers are possible. Repeat. Both times are convenient. We both need more practice. I enjoyed both conversations. Both ideas have advantages. Now let us use another. Another means one more or a different one. Could I have another glass of water? Let us try another restaurant. I need another minute. That is another reason to leave early. Repeat. Can I ask another question? I would like another cup of tea. Let us choose another day. There may be another solution. Now let us practice preferences with rather. The most common phrase is would rather. I would rather eat outside. She would rather stay home. Would you rather walk or take the bus? I would rather not decide yet. After would rather, use the base verb. I would rather go, not I would rather to go. Repeat. I would rather wait. I would rather have tea. Would you rather meet tomorrow? I would rather not rush. Now listen to a lunch conversation. Would you rather eat here or try the place across the street? Either place is fine, but this cafe looks a bit crowded. That is true. The other restaurant has more space. Is the food good? I have been there several times. Most of the dishes are excellent. Do they have enough vegetarian choices? Yes. They have a few salads and several rice dishes. Good. I do not want anything with too much oil. Neither do I. Should we invite Daniel and Mia? Both of them are busy today. Then let us go together. I only have a little time before my next meeting. Same here. I would rather not wait too long. Let us try the other restaurant. Then, that sounds good. Repeat the useful sentences. Either place is fine. This cafe is a bit crowded. I have been there several times. Most of the dishes are excellent. They have enough vegetarian choices. I do not want too much oil. Both of them are busy. I only have a little time. I would rather not wait. Let us try another restaurant. Now create a longer response. I would rather eat somewhere quiet because I only have a little time. Either restaurant is possible, but the first one looks too crowded. The second restaurant has enough space, and I have heard that most of the food is good. Let us try that one today and choose another place next time. Excellent. Part 8. Everyday nouns for problems and decisions. During the afternoon, small problems often appear. A message is missing. A plan changes. A customer has a question. You need nouns that help you explain the situation clearly. Let us begin with issue. Issue often means a problem or topic that needs attention. There is an issue with my order. We need to discuss this issue. The main issue is the cost. Is there a technical issue? Problem and issue are similar. Issue can sound slightly calmer and more professional. There is a problem. May sound serious. There is a small issue. Can sound more manageable. Repeat. We have a small issue. The issue has been fixed. What seems to be the issue? The main issue is timing. Our next noun is reason. A reason explains why something happens. What is the reason for the delay? There must be a reason. That is one reason I chose this job. The reason is quite simple. Repeat. There is a good reason for the change. What was the reason for your decision? That is the main reason. I understand your reason. Now let us use result. A result is what happens because of an action or situation. The result was better than expected. We are waiting for the test results. Hard work does not always produce an immediate result. As a result, the meeting was delayed. Repeat. I am happy with the result. What result do you expect? The final result depends on several factors. As a result, we changed the plan. The next noun is choice. A choice is a decision between possibilities. You have a choice. That was a difficult choice. I think you made the right choice. We do not have much choice. The phrase, I have no choice, means there is only one possible action. The bus has stopped running, so I have no choice but to walk. Repeat. It is your choice. We have several choices. That seems like a reasonable choice. I had no choice but to wait. Our next noun is option. An option is something you can choose. The first option is cheaper. Do we have another option? Working from home is an option. That option is no longer available. Choice is the act or decision. Option is one of the possibilities. You have 3 options. You need to make a choice. Repeat. Let us consider every option. The second option is more convenient. Do we have any other options? That may be our best option. Now let us practice point. Point has many meanings. In conversation, it often means an idea or argument. That is a good point. I understand your point. The main point is that we need more time. What is your point? Be careful with what is your point? Depending on tone, it can sound impatient. A softer version is what is the main point? Or could you explain what you mean? Repeat. I understand your point. The main point is quite simple. You made an important point. That is exactly my point. The next noun is detail. A detail is a small piece of information. I need a few more details. She explained every detail. Do not worry about the small details yet. Let us check the details. Before we decide, repeat. Could you send me the details? I do not remember every detail. The important details are in the email. Let us discuss the details later. Now use plan. A plan describes what you intend to do. What is the plan? We need a better plan. The plan changed this morning. That sounds like a practical plan. Repeat. Let us make a simple plan. The original plan did not work. Do you have any plans for the weekend? For now, we will follow the same plan. The next noun is change. A change is something becoming different. There has been a change in the schedule. I noticed a small change. The new job was a big change for her. Sometimes change is necessary. Repeat. The change happened suddenly. I am comfortable with the change. This is a positive change. We need to explain the change clearly. Now let us use chance. Chance can mean an opportunity. This is a good chance to practice. I did not get a chance to call. Give me a chance to explain. She has a strong chance of winning. Chance can also mean possibility. There is a chance of rain. There is a small chance we will be late. Repeat. I did not have a chance to reply. This is your chance to try. There is a good chance he will agree. Give the idea a chance. Our next noun is solution. A solution answers a problem. We need to find a solution. That is a practical solution. The solution was simpler than expected. Every problem has a possible solution. Repeat. Let us focus on the solution. We finally found a solution. That may be the best solution. Can you suggest another solution? Now use habit. A habit is something you do regularly, often without thinking. Checking my schedule is a useful habit. I am trying to change a bad habit. Daily practice becomes a habit. What habits help you learn? Repeat. I want to build better habits. Reading every morning is one of my habits. It takes time to change a habit. Small habits can produce big results. The final noun is progress. Progress means movement toward improvement. You are making progress. My progress feels slow, but it is steady. We need to check our progress. Do not compare your progress with someone else's. Progress is usually uncountable. We say, I am making progress, not I am making a progress. Repeat, I am making steady progress. Every practice session is progress. It is important to notice your progress. Progress takes time. Now listen to this problem-solving conversation. We have an issue with tomorrow's event. What is the problem? The main speaker cannot come. Do you know the reason? Her flight was canceled. I see. What options do we have? We could move the event, invite another speaker, or change the format. Moving the event would create several new problems. That is a good point. Do we have enough time to invite someone else? There is a chance that Professor Lee is available. That might be our best option. I will contact him and explain the situation. Good. Please send him all the details. What should we do? If he cannot come, then we need another plan. Perhaps we could turn the event into a group discussion. That is a practical solution. It would be a change, but it could still produce a good result. Exactly. Let us give the idea a chance. Now repeat. We have an issue. The main reason is clear. What options do we have? That is a good point. There is a chance he is available. That may be our best option. Please send all the details. We may need another plan. That is a practical solution. The change could still produce a good result. Now shadow the complete summary. We had an issue with the event because the main speaker could not come. We considered several options. Moving the event was possible, but it would create more problems. Then, someone suggested inviting another speaker. There was a good chance he was available, so we contacted him. We also prepared another plan in case he could not attend. By focusing on solutions, we managed the situation calmly. Part 9, words for organizing time and plans. Now the working day is almost over. You need to discuss schedules. Let us learn several natural time expressions. The first is recently. Recently means not long ago. I recently started a new job. Have you seen her recently? The cafe recently changed its menu. We have been very busy recently. Repeat. I recently began practicing every morning. Have you traveled anywhere recently? Things have changed recently. I have not spoken to him recently. The next expression is at the moment. At the moment means now or during the current period. I am busy at the moment. She is living with her parents at the moment. We do not have any tables available at the moment. At the moment, I am focusing on listening. Repeat, I cannot talk at the moment. The manager is unavailable at the moment. I am working from home at the moment. At the moment, everything seems fine. Now let us use eventually. Eventually means in the end, often after time or difficulty. We eventually found the address. She eventually decided to accept the offer. The rain eventually stopped. You will eventually feel more confident. Eventually does not mean possibly. It means something happened or will happen after some time. Repeat. I eventually understood the explanation. They eventually reached an agreement. He eventually replied, with regular practice, speaking will eventually feel easier. Our next phrase is in advance. In advance means before a particular event or time. Please book in advance. Let me know in advance if you cannot come. I prepared the documents in advance. Thank you for telling me in advance. Repeat. We should plan in advance. Buy your ticket in advance. Please contact us at least one day in advance. I like to prepare in advance. Now let us use on time. On time means at the planned or correct time. The meeting started on time. I try to arrive on time. The delivery came on time. Please submit the work on time. Do not confuse on time and in time. On time means not late. In time means early enough for something. The train left on time. We arrived in time to catch it. Repeat. I arrived on time. The class began on time. We got there in time for lunch. Leave now so we can arrive in time. The next phrase is sooner or later. Sooner or later means at some future time, even if we do not know exactly when. Sooner or later, you need to make a decision. The truth will come out sooner or later. If you keep practicing, you will improve sooner or later. Sooner or later, the weather will change. Repeat. We will need to replace this phone sooner or later. Sooner or later, you will feel more comfortable. He will answer sooner or later. The problem must be handled sooner or later. Now let us practice. From now on. From now on means beginning now and continuing into the future. From now on, I will check my schedule every morning. We need to be more careful. From now on. From now on, the store will close at 7. I am going to practice speaking every day. From now on, repeat. From now on, I will write new words down. We will leave earlier from now on. From now on, please send the report by email. I want to be more organized from now on. Our next phrase is for a while. For a while means for a period of time. Let us sit here for a while. I have not seen him for a while. She worked abroad for a while. I need to rest for a while. Repeat. I studied for a while. We talked for a while after lunch. I will stay here for a while. I have been thinking about it for a while. Now use once in a while. Once in a while means occasionally. I eat dessert once in a while. We meet for coffee once in a while. It is healthy to take a break once in a while. Once in a while, I turn off my phone for the evening. Repeat. I work from a cafe once in a while. We all make mistakes once in a while. I watch old movies once in a while. Once in a while, try something different. The next phrase is at first. At first means at the beginning. At first, the job felt difficult. I did not understand the instructions at first. At first, she seemed quiet. The pronunciation was strange at first. Repeat. At first, I was nervous. I found the exercise difficult at first. At first, we planned to walk. I did not notice the difference at first. Now compare at first with in the end. At first, we wanted to stay home. In the end, we went out. At first, the task seemed impossible. In the end, we finished early. At first describes the beginning. In the end describes the final result. Repeat. At first, I did not agree. In the end, I changed my mind. At first, we were lost. In the end, we found the place. At first, I spoke very slowly. In the end, I felt more confident. Now listen to two colleagues making plans. Are you available after work? Not at the moment. I need to finish a few things. How long will that take? Probably an hour. I want to complete everything on time. No problem. I can wait for a while. We should book the restaurant in advance. I already did. Great. Have you been there recently? Not recently, but I used to go once in a while. Was it good? At first, I thought it was a bit expensive. In the end, I really enjoyed it. Then I am looking forward to it. I will message you when I am ready. Please let me know in advance if the plan changes. I will. From now on, I am trying to be more organized. Now repeat the time expressions recently, at the moment, eventually, in advance, on time, in time, sooner or later, from now on, for a while, once in a while, at first, in the end. Now say the longer sentences. I am busy at the moment, but I will be available later. I recently started planning my week in advance. I try to finish everything on time. At first, this was difficult. Eventually, it became a habit. From now on, I want to continue. Once in a while, I may forget, but sooner or later, good habits create progress. Part 10, Common Mistakes and Natural Corrections. You have learned many useful words. Now let us correct several mistakes that intermediate learners often make. The first mistake involves already and yet. Do not normally say, I did not finish already. Say, I have not finished yet, or I did not finish it. Use yet in a negative sentence when you expect the action to happen later. I have not called her yet. We have not decided yet. The bus has not arrived yet. Use already. When the action is complete, I have already called her. We have already decided. The bus has already arrived. Repeat. I have not eaten yet. I have already ordered. She has not replied yet. She has already read the message. The next mistake involves still. Do not say, I still am waiting. In some situations, that order is possible for emphasis. But the most natural everyday order is, I am still waiting. With the verb be, place still after the verb. I am still tired. She is still busy. They are still here. With other verbs, place still before the main verb. I still remember. She still works there. They still need help. Repeat. I am still learning. I still make mistakes. She is still at work. She still enjoys the job. The next mistake involves suggest. Do not say, I suggest to leave early. Say, I suggest leaving early. Or, I suggest that we leave early. Repeat. I suggest taking the train. She suggested meeting later. I suggest that we check again. What do you suggest doing? Now let us correct depend. Do not say, it depends of the weather. Say, it depends on the weather. It depends on the price. It depends on your schedule. It depends on what you need. Repeat. It depends on the situation. The result depends on our effort. My decision depends on the cost. It really depends on you. The next mistake involves similar. Do not say, my phone is similar with yours. Say, my phone is similar to yours. This neighborhood is similar to mine. The two words are similar in meaning. Her experience was similar to my experience. Repeat. The two designs are similar. This problem is similar to the last one. Our schedules are quite similar. His job is similar to mine. Now let us correct. Different. Both different from and different to are used in different varieties of English. For clear international English, different from is a safe choice. This answer is different from mine. The new plan is different from the old one. Her experience was completely different from yours. Repeat. This situation is different from yesterday. My opinion is different from his. The two products are slightly different. That is a different question. The next mistake involves enough. Do not say, I have time enough. Say, I have enough time. Enough comes before a noun. Enough food. Enough money. Enough experience. But after an adjective, the room is large enough. The explanation is clear enough. The coffee is warm enough. Repeat. We have enough time. I do not have enough information. The room is quiet enough. My answer was clear enough. Now let us correct too much and too many. Do not say, there are too much people. Say, there are too many people. People are countable. Use too many. Too many people. Too many emails. Too many mistakes. Use too much. With uncountable nouns, too much noise. Too much traffic. Too much work. Repeat. There is too much traffic. There are too many cars. I have too much work. I receive too many messages. The next mistake involves would rather. Do not say, I would rather to stay home. Say, I would rather stay home. I would rather wait. She would rather walk. Would you rather eat now? Repeat. I would rather leave early. I would rather not discuss it now. Would you rather sit inside? They would rather take the train. Now let us correct manage. Do not say, I managed finishing the work. Say, I managed to finish the work. Manage is followed by to plus the base verb. I managed to call him. She managed to arrive on time. We managed to find a solution. Repeat. I managed to understand the main idea. He managed to fix the problem. Did you manage to contact her? We managed to finish early. The next mistake involves notice and realize. Use notice When you see, hear, or observe something. I noticed a strange sound. She noticed a mistake. Use realize. When you understand a fact, I realized I was in the wrong room. She realized the answer was incorrect. Listen to both. In one situation, I noticed that nobody was speaking. Then, I realized the meeting had finished. Repeat. I noticed the door was open. I realized I had forgotten to lock it. She noticed a change in his voice. She realized he was worried. The final mistake in this section involves progress. Do not normally say, I made a progress. Progress is uncountable. Say, I made progress. I am making good progress. We have made a lot of progress. Your progress is clear. Repeat. I am making steady progress. We made progress today. Small steps are still progress. I am proud of my progress. Mistakes are not a sign that you should stop. They show you what to practice next. When you notice a mistake, correct it calmly, then continue speaking. That habit is much more useful than waiting for a perfect sentence. Part 11, Fluency Building with Sentence Ladders. Now we are going to take simple sentences and build them step by step. This helps you speak for longer without feeling lost. Listen to the first basic sentence. I take the train. Now add frequency. I usually take the train. Add a reason. I usually take the train because it is convenient. Add contrast. I usually take the train because it is convenient, although it can be crowded. Add a personal detail. I usually take the train because it is convenient, although it can be crowded in the morning. Add an alternative. I usually take the train because it is convenient, although it can be crowded in the morning. On the other hand, driving is more expensive. Now repeat the full answer. I usually take the train because it is convenient, although it can be crowded in the morning. On the other hand, driving is more expensive. Good. Let us build another one. I study English. I study English every evening. I usually study English every evening. I usually study English every evening for at least 30 minutes. I usually study English every evening for at least 30 minutes because I want to improve my listening. I usually study English every evening for at least 30 minutes because I want to improve my listening. Even though I am sometimes tired, I try not to skip my practice. Repeat. I usually study English every evening for at least 30 minutes because I want to improve my listening. Even though I am sometimes tired, I try not to skip my practice. Now another sentence. The cafe is good. The cafe is quiet. The cafe is quiet and comfortable. The cafe is quiet, comfortable, and conveniently located. The cafe is quiet, comfortable, and conveniently located near the station. The cafe is quiet, comfortable, and conveniently located near the station. The prices are reasonable and Wi-Fi is available. Repeat. The cafe is quiet, comfortable, and conveniently located near the station. The prices are reasonable and Wi-Fi is available. Now let us build a sentence about a problem. We had an issue with the schedule. We noticed an issue with the schedule this morning. We noticed an issue with the schedule this morning because 2 meetings were at the same time. We noticed an issue with the schedule this morning because 2 meetings were at the same time. We discussed several options and eventually found a practical solution. Repeat. We noticed an issue with the schedule this morning because 2 meetings were at the same time. We discussed several options and eventually found a practical solution. Now build a sentence about a personal choice. I stayed home. I decided to stay home. I decided to stay home because I was tired. I decided to stay home because I was still tired after work. I decided to stay home because I was still tired after work. Honestly, I needed a quiet evening. I decided to stay home because I was still tired after work. Honestly, I needed a quiet evening and I would rather rest than go somewhere crowded. Repeat. I decided to stay home because I was still tired after work. Honestly, I needed a quiet evening and I would rather rest than go somewhere crowded. Now we will build an opinion. Online learning is useful. Online learning is especially useful for busy people. Personally, I think online learning is especially useful for busy people. Personally, I think online learning is especially useful for busy people because it is flexible and convenient. Personally, I think online learning is especially useful for busy people because it is flexible and convenient. On the other hand, learners still need real speaking practice. Repeat. Personally, I think online learning is especially useful for busy people because it is flexible and convenient. On the other hand, learners still need real speaking practice. Now try to answer this question. Do you prefer studying alone or with other people? Listen to a model answer. Personally, I prefer studying alone because I can focus more easily. I normally choose a quiet place and work for about 30 minutes. However, I like practicing speaking with other people once in a while. That gives me a chance to use new expressions in a real conversation. Both methods are useful, so the best choice depends on what I am practicing. Now repeat in sections. Personally, I prefer studying alone because I can focus more easily. I normally choose a quiet place and work for about 30 minutes. However, I like practicing speaking with other people once in a while. That gives me a chance to use new expressions in a real conversation. Both methods are useful, so the best choice depends on what I am practicing. Now answer another question. What do you normally do when you have a difficult problem? Listen. At first, I try to understand exactly what the issue is. Then, I check the important details and consider several possible solutions. If I still cannot figure it out, I ask someone for advice. I do not necessarily follow every suggestion, but another person may notice something I missed. Eventually, I choose the most practical option and give it a chance. Repeat. At first, I try to understand exactly what the issue is. Then, I check the important details and consider several possible solutions. If I still cannot figure it out, I ask someone for advice. Another person may notice something I missed. Eventually, I choose the most practical option and give it a chance. One more question. What makes a place comfortable for you? Listen. For me, a comfortable place is quiet, clean, and not too crowded. The temperature should be warm enough, and the chair should be comfortable. I also like natural light. A convenient location is useful, but it is not necessarily the most important thing. What matters most is that I can relax and focus. Repeat. For me, a comfortable place is quiet, clean, and not too crowded. The temperature should be warm enough. A convenient location is useful, but it is not necessarily the most important thing. What matters most is that I can relax and focus. You are no longer repeating isolated words. You are building complete, organized answers. Part 12, Mini Dialogues for Real Life Speaking. Let us practice several short situations. First, listen to each dialogue. Then, repeat the key sentences. Dialogue 1. Changing an appointment. Hello, I am calling about my appointment tomorrow. Of course. How can I help? I am afraid I may not arrive on time. No worries. Would you like to choose another time? Yes, if possible. We have an appointment available at 3:30. That works for me. Could you arrive 10 minutes in advance? Definitely. Thank you for changing it. You are welcome. We will see you tomorrow. Repeat. I am calling about my appointment. I may not arrive on time. Would it be possible to choose another time? 3:30 works for me. I will arrive 10 minutes in advance. Dialogue 2. Asking about a product. Excuse me, is this jacket available in another size? Let me check. Thank you. We have one larger size available. Could I try it on? Of course. The changing room is over there. This one feels more comfortable. It is also available in blue. Honestly, I prefer the gray one. Fair enough. Would you like to take it? Yes. The price seems reasonable. Repeat. Is this available in another size? Let me check. Could I try it on? This one feels more comfortable. Honestly, I prefer the gray one. The price seems reasonable. Dialogue 3. Solving a delivery issue. Hello, I am calling because there is an issue with my delivery. What seems to be the problem? The package was supposed to arrive yesterday, but it has not arrived yet. Let me check the details. Thank you. Well, apparently, the driver could not find the address. That is strange. I receive deliveries here regularly. I see. Could you confirm the building number? It is number 48. The system shows number 84. That explains the problem. I will correct it now. The package will probably arrive tomorrow. Could you ask the driver to call me in advance? Of course. I will add a note. Repeat. There is an issue with my delivery. It has not arrived yet. Let me check the details. Apparently, the address was incorrect. That explains the problem. It will probably arrive tomorrow. Please ask the driver to call in advance. Dialogue 4. Inviting a friend. Are you available on Saturday? Probably. What do you have in mind? There is a food festival near the river. That sounds interesting. It starts at 11, but we do not need to arrive that early. Is it normally crowded? Yes, especially in the afternoon. Then I suggest going before lunch. Good point. Should we invite Emma? Definitely. She enjoys trying new food. I will message her now. Great. Let me know what she says. Repeat, are you available on Saturday? What do you have in mind? That sounds interesting. Is it normally crowded? I suggest going before lunch. Good point. Let me know what she says. Dialogue 5. Explaining a mistake. Did you send the final document? I sent a document, but I just realized it was the wrong version. Have you corrected it yet? Not yet. I am checking it now. How did that happen? Both files had similar names. I see. I should have checked the details more carefully. It happens. Can you send the correct one soon? Yes. I will definitely send it within 10 minutes. No worries. Please write updated version in the subject line. That is a good idea. Repeat. I just realized it was the wrong version. Have you corrected it yet? I am checking it now. Both files had similar names. I should have checked the details. I will send the correct one soon. No worries. Dialogue. 6. Choosing a place to work. Do you want to work at the library or the cafe? Either place is possible. The library is quieter. That is true. On the other hand, we cannot talk there. Good point. We need to discuss the project. The cafe near the station has a large upstairs area. Is it usually crowded? Not in the morning. Then that seems like the most practical option. I agree. Let us meet there at 9. That works. Repeat. Either place is possible. The library is quieter. On the other hand, we cannot talk there. We need to discuss the project. Is the cafe usually crowded? That seems like the most practical option. Let us meet there at 9. Part 13. Long real-life conversation. Now listen to a longer conversation. Do not try to repeat every sentence immediately. First, follow the meaning. 2 friends, Nina and Adam, are meeting after work. They plan to have dinner and then attend an evening class. Nina arrives at the station and calls Adam. Hi, Adam. Where are you? I am still at the office. Really? I thought you had already left. I was almost ready to leave. But then my manager asked me to check a report. Have you finished it yet? Not yet, but I am nearly done. How long do you need? Probably 20 minutes. That is fine. I can wait for a while. Are you at the station already? Yes. I arrived a few minutes ago. I am sorry. I should have messaged you in advance. No worries. I brought a book in case I had to wait. That was a good idea. Do you still want to go to the restaurant near the theater? Actually, I was thinking about another place. Which one? There is a small restaurant next to my office. Is it good? Apparently, it has excellent food and reasonable prices. Is it normally crowded? It can be, especially after 6. Then should we book a table? I already tried, but no tables are available. I see. So the original restaurant may be a better option. It probably is. We need to be at the class by 8, so the location is more convenient anyway. That makes sense. What time do you think you will arrive? If I manage to leave within 20 minutes, I should reach the station around 6:30. That works. Are you comfortable waiting that long? Yes. Honestly, I need a quiet moment after work. I know what you mean. Today has been extremely busy. Was there a particular issue? Several small issues. Actually, at first, one of our systems stopped working. Did you figure out the problem? Eventually, the issue was caused by an update. Were you able to fix it? Not completely. We found a temporary solution. For now, at least you can continue working? Exactly. Then we had a meeting about next month's schedule. Did anything change? Yes. The company is introducing flexible hours. That sounds convenient. It could be. On the other hand, everyone needs to coordinate their schedules. Do you think it will work? It depends on how clearly the rules are explained. That is a good point. My manager asked for suggestions, so I recommended testing the system for 1 month. That sounds reasonable. She agreed. We will check the results before making a final decision. That seems practical. I hope so. What about your day? Mine was quieter, although I had an interesting conversation with a client. What happened? She wanted to change the design we had already agreed on. Was it a big change? Not exactly. The colors were similar, but she wanted a different layout. Did she explain the reason? Yes. She realized that most of her customers use their phones, so she needed a design that worked better on a smaller screen. Exactly. That makes sense. At first, I was a bit frustrated because we had already finished most of the work. I understand. But after she explained the details, I saw her point. Did you manage to change it? I changed the main page. The rest should be finished tomorrow. That is good progress. Yes. And the new layout is actually clearer, so the change produced a better result. I think so. Sometimes an unexpected change helps. That is true, although I would rather know about it earlier. Fair enough. Nina hears an announcement. At the station, Adam, there is an announcement. Apparently, one of the train lines is delayed. Which line? The green line. That is the one I normally take. Is there another option? I could take the number 12 bus. How long does that take? It depends on the traffic. Usually about 30 minutes. That might still be faster than waiting for the train. Good point. I will check the bus schedule. Do that. We do not want to arrive late for the class. I have found one. A bus leaves in 5 minutes. Can you catch it? If I leave now, yes. What about the report? I just finished it. Excellent. I am sending it now. Remember to check the attachment. I definitely will. I do not want to repeat your mistake from this morning. Nina laughs. Very funny. I am just joking. I know. Adam leaves the office and walks quickly toward the bus stop. He calls Nina again. A few minutes later, I managed to catch the bus. Great. Is it crowded? A little, but I found a seat. Then you should arrive around 6:30. Probably. Could you check whether the restaurant has a table? Of course. I will call them now. Please ask for a quiet table. If possible, I will. And can you check how far it is from the classroom? It is only a 10-minute walk. Perfect. Nina calls the restaurant. A member of staff answers, "Good evening. How can I help?" "Hello. Do you have a table available for 2 people at 6:30? Let me check." "Thank you." "Yes, we have 1 table available. Is it possible to sit somewhere quiet?" "We have a table near the back. It is generally quieter there." "That sounds good." "May I have your name?" "Nina Carter." "Thank you. We will hold the table for 15 minutes. We should arrive on time, but I will call if anything changes." "Of course. We will see you soon." Nina calls Adam again. "I booked the table." "Excellent. They will hold it for 15 minutes. I should arrive on time." "How is the traffic?" "It is moving slowly at the moment." "Do you think you will be late?" "Not necessarily. We still have 25 minutes." "Okay, I will start walking toward the restaurant." "Take your time. I will message you when I am close." Nina walks through the station. She notices a small bookstore. She has time, so she goes inside. A book about communication catches her attention. She looks through it for a few minutes. Then Adam messages her, "I am almost there." Nina leaves the store and walks to the restaurant. Adam is waiting near the entrance. "You arrived before me," Nina says, "only by a minute." "I thought the traffic was slow." It was, but the driver took another route. That was fortunate. Are you hungry? Definitely. They enter the restaurant. The table near the back is comfortable and quiet. A server gives them the menus. Would you like something to drink? The server asks. Just water for me, Nina says. I will have water too, Adam says. Would you like still or sparkling water? Still. Please, Nina answers. The server leaves. Adam looks at the menu. There are too many choices. I know. Most of them look good. Would you rather share a few dishes? That is a practical idea. How about the vegetable soup? Sounds good. And perhaps the grilled fish? I would rather have the chicken. Fair enough. We can order both. That may be too much food. You are probably right. Let us choose one main dish and two smaller dishes. That should be enough. Do you want anything spicy? A little spice is fine, but not too much. Same here. The server returns. Are you ready to order? Almost, Nina says. Could you explain this dish? Of course. It is rice with vegetables, herbs, and a light lemon sauce. Is it spicy? Not at all. That sounds good. We will have one of those. And could we also have the vegetable soup? Adam asks. Certainly. Would you like anything else? Not for now, Nina says. The server takes the menus. Adam smiles. We made a decision. Eventually, we did. Choosing food should not be that difficult. It depends. When everything looks good, the choice becomes harder. That is true. They eat dinner and talk about the evening class. What is tonight's topic? Adam asks. Making clear presentations. That could be useful for work, especially for you. You often present reports. Honestly, I still feel nervous when I speak in front of a large group. Most people do. I sometimes speak too quickly. At least you notice it. That is true. From now on, I am going to practice speaking more slowly. You could record yourself. That is a good suggestion. It may feel strange at first, but eventually you become familiar with your own voice. Have you tried it? Yes, I record short answers once in a while. Does it help? Definitely. I notice unclear words and unnecessary pauses. Perhaps we can practice together. I would be happy to. They finish their meal. The server brings the bill. The price is quite reasonable, Adam says. Yes, and the food was better than I expected. In fact, I would come here again. So would I. They pay and leave the restaurant. The evening air is cool. They walk toward the class. We have 15 minutes, Nina says. Perfect. We will arrive in time. I am glad you managed to finish the report. So am I. And despite the delay, the evening plan still worked. Exactly. We had to make a few changes, but nothing serious happened. That is a useful reminder. What is? A plan does not need to happen exactly as expected to be successful. That is a very good point. Now let us review the story. Through shorter speaking sections, repeat. I thought you had already left. I am still at the office. Have you finished the report yet? I am almost done. I should have messaged you in advance. No worries. I brought a book in case I had to wait. Now the next section. Apparently, the train is delayed. Is there another option? I could take the bus. It depends on the traffic. That may still be faster. I managed to catch it. Now continue. Do you have a table available? Is it possible to sit somewhere quiet? The table near the back is generally quieter. That sounds good. We should arrive on time. I will call If anything changes, now continue. There are too many choices. Would you rather share a few dishes? That is a practical idea. A little spice is fine, but not too much. That should be enough. We eventually made a decision. Now, the final section. I still feel nervous. When I speak to a large group, most people do. At least you notice it. From now on, I will practice speaking more slowly. It may feel strange at first. Eventually, you will become more comfortable. That is a good suggestion. Part 14, slow shadowing practice. Now we will practice several longer passages. Listen to each passage once. Then speak with me. Keep your voice relaxed. Do not rush. Shadowing passage 1, my morning. I normally wake up at 7. I do not get out of bed immediately because I am usually still tired. First, I check the time. Then, I drink some water and open the curtains. I rarely check social media right away. Instead, I look at my schedule and decide what matters most that day. Sometimes, I have already prepared breakfast. On other mornings, I just make something simple. I try to leave home on time, although I occasionally need a few extra minutes. Before I leave, I check that I have my phone, wallet, and keys. I once forgot my keys, so now I definitely check twice. Repeat again. I normally wake up at 7. I am usually still tired. First, I check the time. Then, I drink some water. I rarely check social media right away. Instead, I look at my schedule. I decide what matters most that day. I try to leave home on time. Before I leave, I check my phone, wallet, and keys. Now shadow the full passage one more time. Shadowing passage 2, my journey. I usually take public transportation because it is convenient. The journey takes about 40 minutes. The train can be crowded, especially during the morning rush. However, I normally manage to find a place to stand comfortably. While I travel, I listen to an English podcast. Sometimes I understand almost everything. At other times, I miss a few details. That does not necessarily mean the practice is too difficult. What matters is that I continue listening. Sooner or later, familiar words begin to sound clearer. Repeat. I usually take public transportation because it is convenient. The train can be crowded, especially in the morning. While I travel, I listen to English. Sometimes I understand almost everything. At other times, I miss a few details. That does not necessarily mean the practice is too difficult. What matters is that I continue listening. Sooner or later, familiar words sound clearer. Shadowing passage 3, handling a problem. Yesterday, I noticed an issue with an online order. The package had not arrived yet, although the delivery date had already passed. At first, I felt frustrated. Then, I decided to contact customer service. The employee checked the details and realized that the address was incorrect. Apparently, 2 numbers had been placed in the wrong order. She corrected the information and suggested a new delivery date. The package eventually arrived. The next morning, the problem was inconvenient, but the solution was simple. I was glad that the employee handled the situation calmly. Repeat. I noticed an issue with my order. The package had not arrived yet. At first, I felt frustrated. Then, I contacted customer service. The employee checked the details. She realized that the address was incorrect. She corrected the information. The package eventually arrived. The problem was inconvenient, but the solution was simple: shadowing passage 4, making plans. A friend recently invited me to a weekend event. The event sounded interesting, but I was not sure whether I was available. I checked my schedule and noticed that I had another appointment in the morning. Fortunately, the event continued all afternoon. I told my friend that I would probably join later. We agreed to meet near the main entrance. She sent me the location in advance in case I could not find it. The area was crowded, but I eventually saw her near a food stand. We spent several hours talking, trying new food, and listening to music. At first, I planned to stay for only an hour. In the end, I stayed until the event closed. Repeat. A friend invited me to a weekend event. The event sounded interesting. I was not sure whether I was available. I checked my schedule. I said I would probably join later. We agreed to meet near the entrance. She sent me the location in advance. The area was crowded. I eventually found her. At first, I planned to stay for an hour. In the end, I stayed until closing. Shadowing passage 5, building a learning habit. Learning a language requires regular attention. However, practice does not need to be long or complicated. A short activity can still be useful as long as you do it carefully. For example, you can listen to a 2-minute conversation, then you can repeat several sentences. After that, you can use the same words to describe your own life. At first, this may feel slow. You may need to stop and think. That is completely reasonable. With time, you will manage to answer more quickly. You will notice familiar patterns. You will make fewer pauses. Most importantly, you will become more comfortable expressing your own ideas. Repeat. Practice does not need to be long or complicated. A short activity can still be useful. Listen to a short conversation. Repeat several sentences. Then, use the same words to describe your own life. At first, this may feel slow. That is completely reasonable. With time, you will answer more quickly. You will notice familiar patterns. You will become more comfortable expressing your ideas. Part 15, Listening Challenge. Now listen to a new story. After the story, I will ask you several questions. You do not need to write anything. Simply listen for the main information. Daniel recently moved to a new neighborhood. At first, the area did not feel familiar. The streets were busier than the streets near his old home, and several buildings looked similar. During his first week, he took the wrong bus twice. He also had difficulty finding a convenient grocery store. One evening, Daniel noticed a small market near the train station. It looked crowded, but he decided to give it a chance. Inside, he found fresh food, reasonable prices, and helpful staff. A worker showed him where to find everything he needed. Daniel realized that the market was actually much larger than it looked from outside. From then on, he shopped there most evenings. A few weeks later, one of Daniel's friends came to visit. His friend asked whether the new neighborhood was comfortable. Daniel thought for a moment. He said the area was noisier than his old neighborhood. On the other hand, transportation was more convenient. There were more restaurants, several parks, and a library. Within walking distance, he still missed his old neighbors once in a while. However, He was gradually becoming familiar with the new area. In fact, he had already started to enjoy living there. Now, answer the first question. Did the neighborhood feel familiar at first? Number. At first, the neighborhood did not feel familiar. Question 2. What problem did Daniel have? With transportation? He took the wrong bus twice. Question 3. What did he notice? Near the station? He noticed a small market. Question 4. Why did he continue shopping there? The food was fresh. The prices were reasonable. And the staff were helpful. Question 5. What was one advantage of the new neighborhood? Transportation was more convenient. Question 6. Did Daniel completely forget his old neighborhood? Number. He still missed his old neighbors once in a while. Question 7. How did his feelings change? He gradually became familiar with the area and started to enjoy living there. Now listen to the story again. Daniel recently moved to a new neighborhood. At first, the area did not feel familiar. The streets were busier, and several buildings looked similar. During his first week, he took the wrong bus twice. One evening, he noticed a small market near the station. It looked crowded, but he decided to give it a chance. Inside, he found fresh food, reasonable prices, and helpful staff. He realized that the market was larger than it looked. From then on, he shopped there most evenings. The new neighborhood was noisier than his old one. On the other hand, transportation was more convenient. He still missed his old neighbors once in a while. However, he was becoming familiar with the area. In fact, he had already started to enjoy living there. Now summarize the story with me. Daniel moved to a new neighborhood. At first, he found the area unfamiliar. He had a few problems, including taking the wrong bus. Then, he discovered a convenient market near the station. The market had reasonable prices and helpful staff. Although the neighborhood was noisier, transportation was better. Eventually, Daniel started to feel comfortable there. Part 16, Final Review. You have practiced many words today. Let us review them by purpose. First, words for progress and time. Already, still, yet, just, almost, recently, eventually, at the moment, in advance. For now, repeat the sentences. I have already started. I am still practicing. I have not finished yet. I just learned something useful. I am almost ready. I recently changed my routine. Eventually, speaking will feel easier. I am busy at the moment. I planned everything in advance. This solution is fine for now. Now words for habits and probability, usually, normally, rarely, probably, definitely, likely, unlikely, repeat. I usually practice in the morning. I normally study at home. I rarely skip a lesson. I will probably practice again tomorrow. I will definitely continue. The train is likely to be crowded. A serious problem is unlikely. Now, words that show your attitude: actually, honestly, basically, especially, mainly, perhaps, apparently, personally, exactly, generally, repeat. Actually, I changed my mind. Honestly, I need more time. Basically, the plan is simple. This is especially useful for speaking. I mainly practice through listening. Perhaps we should try again. Apparently, the schedule has changed. Personally, I prefer the first option. That is exactly what I mean. The method generally works well. Now, everyday action verbs. Check. Notice. Realize. Decide. Expect. Manage. Handle. Figure out. Depend. Suggest. Avoid. Remind. Matter. Repeat. Let me check. I noticed a difference. I realized my mistake. I decided to continue. I expected a different result. I managed to finish. I can handle the situation. I will figure it out. It depends on the details. I suggest trying again. Try to avoid rushing. Remind me to call. Every small step matters. Now, natural responses. I see. That makes sense. Good point. Fair enough. Sounds good. That works. No worries. Not exactly. Not necessarily. It depends. I mean, I get it. Repeat them in a conversation rhythm. I see. That makes sense. Good point. Fair enough. Sounds good to me. Yes, that works. No worries. Not exactly. Not necessarily. It depends. I mean, we still have time. I get it now. Now, descriptive words. Convenient, available, comfortable, familiar, similar, different, useful, practical, reasonable, clear, quiet, crowded, possible, likely. Repeat. The location is convenient. A table is available. The chair is comfortable. The name sounds familiar. The two ideas are similar. My answer is different. This expression is useful. That is a practical plan. The price is reasonable. The instructions are clear. The room is quiet. The train is crowded. Another solution is possible. Rain is likely. Now, connectors. Since, although, even though, while, unless, as long as, in case, at least, on the other hand, in fact. Repeat. Since we are early, let us begin. Although I was nervous, I spoke. Even though I made mistakes, I continued. I listened while I walked. We will be late. Unless we leave now, you will improve as long as you practice. Take notes in case you forget. I practiced for at least 10 minutes. The task is difficult. On the other hand, it is useful. I thought it would be boring. In fact, I enjoyed it. Now, amount and choice words. Enough. Too much. Too many. A bit. A little. A few. Several. Most. Either. Neither. Both. Another. Rather. Repeat. We have enough time. There is too much noise. There are too many people. I am a bit tired. I need a little help. I have a few questions. We discussed several options. Most of the answers were correct. Either day works. Neither option is perfect. Both ideas are useful. Let us try another way. I would rather wait. Finally, problem-solving nouns. Issue, reason, result, choice, option, point, detail, plan, change, chance, solution, habit, progress, repeat. There is a small issue. What is the reason? The result was positive. That was a difficult choice. We have another option. You made a good point. Please check the details. We need a clear plan. I noticed a change. Give yourself a chance. We found a practical solution. Daily practice becomes a habit. You are making progress. Final fluency practice. Now speak with me. Slowly. I use English every day, even if I only have a little time. I listen carefully and I notice useful words. I do not need to memorize everything immediately. Instead, I choose a few expressions and use them in different situations. At first, I may need time. to build a sentence. That is completely reasonable. I am still learning. I have already made progress, and I have not finished yet. When I make a mistake, I check it. Then I try again. I remind myself that mistakes are part of the process. What matters most is that I continue. I am becoming more familiar with natural English. I am learning how to explain my ideas clearly. I am learning how to agree politely. I am learning how to change a plan. I am learning how to solve a problem. I am learning how to keep a conversation moving. Sometimes I understand almost everything. Sometimes I miss a few details. That does not necessarily mean I am failing. It simply means I need more practice. As long as I continue, I will improve. Sooner or later, the words will come more easily. Eventually, I will speak with greater comfort and confidence. Now say it one more time. I am still learning. I have already made progress. I have not finished yet. Every small step matters. Closing, you have reached the end of today's practice. Think about how much English you have used. You described habits. You discussed plans. You showed agreement. You corrected information. You compared options. You explained problems. You offered solutions. And you followed a complete day through natural English conversations. The most important lesson is simple. Fluency does not only come from knowing impressive words. It comes from using practical words. At the right moment, a word becomes useful when it helps you express a real thought. A phrase becomes natural when you use it in more than one situation. And a sentence becomes part of your English when you say it often enough that you no longer need to build it word by word. Choose 5 expressions from this lesson. Use them today. You might choose. That makes sense. It depends. I have not decided yet. I managed to finish. Or I would rather wait. Create one personal sentence with each expression. Say the sentences in the morning. Say them again later in the day. Then use at least one of them in a real conversation. That small routine can produce more progress than memorizing a long list without speaking. You do not need to become perfect today. You only need to become a little more comfortable than you were yesterday. Thank you for spending this time with Fluent English in Minutes. Keep listening, keep noticing, keep speaking, and most importantly, keep giving yourself a chance to improve. I will see you in the next lesson.